All right, so I'm going to call the February 17th meeting of the Whitman Community Preservation Committee to order. This is being recorded to be broadcast on WHCA's YouTube channel. So we have two items on the agenda tonight. One is, I guess there's really three. The first one is our applications for CPA projects. I sent those to you guys. So the first one that I want to talk about is we got an application to potentially purchase land on Bedford Street. The issue with that is that there has been a purchase and sale from an outside body that has placed on it, and the select board had voted to not. The town has right of first refusal. The board voted not to exercise that right. The purchase and the application, as you guys saw, was looking for about maybe $500,000 to buy that land. The purchase and sale came in at 1.5, and so the town would have to match or better that amount. And while maybe $500,000 might have been something the CPC could have really looked at as a potential thing, 1.5 million is not. So I think because we got that application, we still have to vote on it. But like I said, I think that it's kind of a moot point because the town has not exercised its right of first refusal. So it's going to be John.
Right. Who filed the application with us? It
was the Ed Winnett from the Conservation Commission.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was.
I think it was a selectman, and they decided.
Oh no. Yeah, it was. I mean, and I talked to him, and he had a really good idea for it, and the idea that it would be, purchasing the land, and then we could eventually. He thought maybe in future things have the land, but then maybe you could put a dog park there by putting fencing around, and there's lots of places people could walk around. So I thought it was a really neat proposal. But then, like I said, there was a purchase and sale that we're just not going to be able to match. So we have to kind of. Unfortunately, say no to that particular project. But so could I have a motion to vote on that first application for the Bedford Street property?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
So we're going to vote to not approve this thing.
Yes.
So I guess all in favor of not approving that application?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that was unanimous. Thank you. The second application we received, it was actually the first one we received chronologically, but the second one in your packet was for historical plaques for the Historical Commission. They're looking for $4,000 to add to put more plaques on more properties. Yes.
Did we just do this last year?
We did. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. So as they find more and designate more properties as being historically significant, they want more.
Okay.
They need more plaques. So I think it's.
Do them all.
No, they didn't. I don't think they did them all. Lorna, you might know. Yeah.
And we had a great response.
Yep.
Giving them out, so that's why we decided all these people didn't do mine now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah. No. It does sound like deja vu because we definitely did vote. We voted for these last year, but we're voting.
Check the date. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So these are additional plaques for additional historic places in
How
town.
old does the building have to be historical?
It's not, it's really not an age requirement, probably, at least 50 is what we're, but.
Oh, okay.
I
got one.
The type.
I know. My house is 1905.
Yeah. Just try.
The 1/8
Yeah.
should sound like a historical plaque. This
Yeah.
after the 1/8 and year.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's $4,000. So I think it's a worthwhile use, and like you said, like Lorna said, people seem to like getting the plaques. So
It's cool.
it is cool. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
So
Did it last year.
I love
Yeah.
it in my house.
yeah. All right. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the Historical Commission's application for $4,000 for historical plaques.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
No, second.
Second.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much.
I abstained. I'm exposed to since I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Okay.
Still unanimous.
Yep. Still unanimous. Yep. Okay. So the second item on the agenda, Kathy Keefe from the Select Board's office reached out to me about the Hornstra property. And I don't know about Lorna, but I don't know if Lorna, you were here in 2023. I'm trying to remember when you joined the board.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. It was a lane. We had a meeting when the Peaceful Meadows property went for sale. It went up for auction, and I think there was a lot of discussion and worry about the Peaceful Meadows property being bought by developers and turned into condominiums and stuff. And so we were kind of, we kind of had like I don't want to say an emergency meeting, that sounds drastic, but we had a meeting in August, which we usually don't do, to discuss the potential use of CPA money to do something with that property. What ended up happening was John Hornstra bought the property and obviously has kept it as farmland. But one of the things that they were looking at, or the town was looking at, was putting either an agriculture or a conservation restriction on the land. I believe that what Ms. Keefe said to me was that they're now looking at doing and Mr. Evans might be able to speak more on this, but put forward with a grant. Now, they had to do the open space plan first to kind of be eligible, which is why we're kind of now coming back at this 2.5 years later. They did the open space plan, so now I think it makes it so the town is eligible for more grant opportunities in this area. And they're looking at putting a conservation restriction on the Hornstra property, which would mean that if the Hornstra farm sells that property, we won't be in the same position we were in 2023, hoping that condo developers don't buy the land and develop it. It will be reserved as conservation land. And in order to purchase a conservation restriction, they did this grant, and what the grant, I guess, is looking for is a 10% kind of like buy-in from the town, which CPA money could be used to fund. And so we're not voting on this. This is just kind of a discussion to see what, because obviously if this committee was, for example, like dead set against using CPC money for a conservation restriction, then they would either have to look for another source for that money, or decide not to apply, get out of the grant proposal because they wouldn't have the 10% to put down toward it. Kathy said to me that she thought it might be between 1.5 and $2 million is what the conservation restriction would be. So 10% of that would be 150 to 200. Justin said it might be up to 250, depending on, it's kind of, obviously a lot of it will depend on as the grant process goes through. But I think they're just looking for kind of a temperature on the committee for, again, we could obviously vote differently when it comes to it, but I think if we were all if there was a real sense that we didn't think that was a good use of CPC money, they would have to rethink their plans.
I think it's great use.
I mean, I think that's obviously one of the main purposes of CPA is for land conservation, and kind of, like I said, I think given the outcry that we heard in the summer 2 years ago, where people were very nervous about Peaceful Meadows becoming developed land, and the fact, if you look at our first order of business with that property that was across from Peaceful Meadows, that I think that would have been really nice conservation land too. It just obviously didn't work out that way. I think my view on it is using CPA to conserve as much kind of open space kind of stuff as we can, and not, especially given, I think, the history of Peaceful Meadows in this town. I mean, we can't always guarantee that there'll always be a farm, like a little ice cream stand there, but I think that not having to worry about someone putting like an auto parts place on the farmland there, or build big condos or something back there.
With all those other condos going East Bridgewater back there.
Yeah.
At least that would deter that.
Right, yeah.
I wasn't even thinking that way if we
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. So that's, John.
All for just a couple of questions, maybe Justin can answer. So would this be a conservation restriction or an agricultural preservation restriction?
So it's the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness MVP program through the state. I think it's more of a conservation restriction, but it does allow agricultural use. It's to preserve local food sources is the intent.
Okay. And would it be often with this kind of thing, they kind of carve out the developed area and don't put the restriction on?
Yeah, so John Hornstra is paying for the assessment right now to submit with the grant application. Okay. He's doing it collaboratively with us and with, I don't know the name of the conservation organization working with us, but it's like a 3-party grant application, everyone's together. And he's carving out the developed piece, including the ice cream stand, the house.
So, farm field or something, that might get sold for development, but everything else would get preserved, would be
And
free up.
it's ultimately buying the development rights. It's,
Yeah,
we're devaluing the land, so
Right.
we're paying for it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I
those
mean,
silos are beautiful.
yeah,
Love
Yeah.
it. I saw when they were going up. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, oh, for it.
yeah. So again, like I said, this isn't an action item, and it's not something to vote on because there's not an application before us. But I think just being able to go back to the select board's office and say,
Temperature's good.
temperature's good. I think that if you guys put an application for that, I think that there would be, you know, a lot of support for it on the CPC, so they could feel more confident going forward with the grant proposal part of it.
What do you see as the timing of this, Justin?
I think this summer we should hear back on the grants. This would be a next year town meeting, maybe a fall town meeting, quick.
Okay.
Right, and
Grant is, if not submitted, it's drafted and ready to go in the assessment or the appraisal.
then how does it work in terms of, like, so in your point of a special town meeting, would the town need, or that 10% for that before that point? Or could we done concurrently? Like, so if you were putting in other words, if you're putting the grant proposal in front of the town meeting, would we be putting a CPC?
I don't know the
Okay, all right.
It would be a,
Council question?
yeah, it's a council question.
Okay.
Is it, are we just paying John Munster directly, in which case he'll probably be in a few months? Or
Yeah.
is it, are we pooling the money together through the state, through this process?
Yeah, okay. No, because we've never had to do a CPA article for the special town meeting. We've always just done them in the spring.
Yeah.
We can certainly do that if that's the case, but I wasn't sure what if you needed to have it beforehand. I don't know. I mean, obviously we can only do things at town meetings, so we'll have to figure out how that all works out. But yeah. Any other discussion on that?
Nope, temperature's good.
Temperature's good. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, Lorna, sure.
About zoning, okay? Would be a zoning question. You know how you can't build on certain things because it's zoned for businesses or something, or,
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's
but it's that's nothing to do with.
I would say industrial, light commercial,
Yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah,
I gotta look it up on the map.
maybe highway, because it's,
Yeah, something like, yeah.
but
Whatever it is.
that is,
It's coming down like all that light with the blue, right? Or is that-
Yeah, I think it says highway business.
highway
Yeah, that's what I
business,
thought.
but probably behind a couple hundred feet in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, we can still buy out the rights, essentially this buys out the rights to develop the land.
Yeah.
Right, because it's basically like making up the difference between what the land would be valued at as commercial land versus conservation land, and that's what that $2.5 million, I guess, is for, is to kind of, because as the owner of that property, he'd be giving up a certain amount of money if he wanted to sell, by changing it. So it's kind of that's what your best. I think my understanding is you're basically kind of giving them
Yeah.
a kind of not a payout. That sounds nefarious, but you're basically compensating them for like devaluing the value of their land.
And because it's been Chapter 61 agricultural land to this point, we're already taxing him as if it's less valuable.
Yeah.
So it's bringing the actual appraisal down to,
Yeah.
his land down to what he pays in taxes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the temperature's good on that, so we can let let Kathy know that.
And obviously, 300,000. No, it sounds like a lot, but not that bad for our standings. Right?
Right. No.
Yeah. No. That's,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think. I mean. I don't know. I don't.
Plenty of money for the board.
Yeah. I think I don't have the exact figures of, and I'll have to do that work for the warrant article for because part of the warrant article is taking the money that we get or we're expected to get this year and putting them into the respective reserve accounts. I don't have the exact figure, but I know that, and Justin probably, knows this as well. I think it's like, we're generally kind of getting that amount every year
Yeah.
plus. So it's like,
We're not using it, so.
we're using 4,000 of it this year. So I think that we've,
That's why I was just curious.
yeah. So I think, we'd still be in good shape. I think if we had to give 250, we'd still have plenty of money in the accounts for other projects too.
Cool.
Yep. So, all right.
Sounds great.
Okay. Well, so I think what we've done in the past is we only have this one project application. Usually I just, type up the warrant article and give it up to the select board's office. So for right now, I don't see there's any other business in front of in the immediate future for us. So I don't know if we, and I guess maybe we can wait and see what ends up happening in terms of what the timeline is once we, hear from the select board's office about this grant. But, I say, typically what we do is we finish up our work before the town meeting in the spring, and then we take the summer off, and then we reconvene, at the end of the summer.
Re-explain to everybody.
Re-explain to everyone what it is. Yep. And, do all that stuff. So I think, I don't know if we want to, I think maybe I don't think we need to set a meeting for this far out in advance. And if there is something that comes up, for example, like that they want to do something for the special town meeting, we need to meet a little bit earlier. I'll reach out to her. We'll find a date that works. But with that, I think I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So, mate.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming out.
Thank you.